Hello everyone, this is a tutorial on how to speedrun Slender, the 8 pages. This tutorial will cover everything from the very basics to world record level routes and strategies. So without further ado, let's begin. To download the main version of the game tracked on the Speedrunning.com leaderboards, simply head to the Speedrunning.com page for Slender, the 8 pages, click on Resources, Base Game, and download the game from there.
To set up the auto splitter, what you're going to want to do is download the auto splitter from here. Then you're going to want to go into Edit Layout, click on this plus sign, and go to Control, Scriptable Auto Splitter. Add that to your layout, then head to it in Layout Settings, go to Browse, and simply select the auto splitter and click split after every page. You should be good to go.
The auto splitter doesn't start automatically, so make sure to bind a hotkey to start your splits. If you start your splits whenever you click to enter the game, add a negative 0.37 second delay to your timer to make sure that your splits start when timing starts. When running the game, make sure to turn your monitor's gamma up for better visibility. Most of the time, Slender won't cause too many problems. Your static may cause issues with being able to hear the breathing when you're running out of stamina. If you have a lot of pages and you have to run pretty close to Slender, you can look in his direction and lock him in place, and hiding him behind objects can help prevent him from killing you while looking at him. For optimal sprinting, you need to be able to mash at a relatively high speed with consistent timing, most commonly done with 2 fingers. To be able to mash sprint with 2 fingers while also controlling the character, rebind sprint to space and bind forwards to either a key on your mouse or to a key that you can rest a heavy object on top of. At the start of the run, mash sprint until you start to hear the player breathing, and stop around when you hear their third breath. You may notice you aren't seeming to go any faster. If this is happening, you're mashing too lightly. Repeat this process for the entire run. Breathing will become harder to hear the more pages you collect, so make sure to get a feel for the timing. To practice the routes without having to worry about RNG, download the modded version of the game from the Resources tab on Speedrunning.com. This version even has its own category on the Speedrunning.com page. The page spawns are all set to the most optimal spawns for the best route. So if you want to practice any other route, you're going to need to pretend some of the pages are there. At the start of the run, turn right and run towards the silo. Make sure to do a full check around the silo clockwise for pages, because there are 4 sublocations where one can spawn. Next, turn left and head towards the rocks. There are 3 sublocations that are all around the rock, so make sure to check the rock clockwise. If the page is in the back, turn around in the opposite direction, as it is faster to do that rather than walk around the entire rock. Next, turn left to the tankers and head between the middle 2. The pages will all be in 2 rows down the middle, and ideally the page will spawn on one of the 2 closest tankers to you, or one of the 2 to the right. Some sublocations are faster than others, with the worst one being in the top left, losing almost 7 seconds over the best one, which is in the bottom right. Next, Go to the right and run towards the logs. The two closer sublocations are better. For this route, the bottom right and middle left pole sublocations are about the same speed, and the top right sublocation loses around 2 seconds. Next, go left towards the tunnel. You can choose to either enter from the back, which will save time if the page is on the back sublocation in the tunnel, or you can choose to go in from the front, which saves time if the page is on the front location. Entering from the back is generally worth it due to not needing to backtrack, but the front can be faster if it is in the front sublocation. If it's in the middle sublocation, the back is slightly faster, but the difference isn't too big. Next, head left out the tunnel and head towards the building. If the page is in the first room, grab the page and leave out the middle right exit of the building and head for the red truck, which will be a bit on your left. If the page isn't there, head to the room in the top left of the building. If the page is in that room, you can choose to either take the quicker route of heading to the red truck first, or lose about 3 seconds and take the safer route of heading to the tree first, which allows you to head to the blue truck if a page is not on the tree or the red truck. When heading to the red truck, you should be able to see both the back shed sublocation and the sublocation on the back of the truck. If the page is not on either one of these, make sure to check the right side of the shed. Finally, turn left and head towards the tree. There are 3 sublocations in the triangle pattern. If you don't see the page on the left or the right when you're approaching it, head to the left and circle around the tree. If you decide to head to the blue truck, turn right once you reach the red truck and the shed. There's only one sublocation on the back of the truck, and it very rarely will spawn there, so good luck. Once you start the run, head left towards the big tree in the middle. There are 3 sublocations on the tree in a triangle pattern. If you don't see the page on either the left or the right when you're approaching it, reset the run. Next, turn right and head towards the red truck. It is generally faster to check the back of the red truck first, followed by the sublocations on the shed, unless you're running modded, in which case heading directly to the back of the shed is the fastest. Next, head right to the blue truck. The page will only ever spawn in the back of the truck since there's only one sublocation on that location. And it's the rarest spot by far for a page to spawn in the game, so good luck. Next, turn right and go to the tunnel. The front of the tunnel is the best place for a page to spawn. The middle loses around 4 seconds, and the back will lose you over 8. If you get back tunnel, it's faster to exit out the back and head to the building rather than backtracking and exiting out of the front of the tunnel. Once you reach the building, if the page is in the first room that you enter, exit from where you entered from and head straight for the leftmost tanker. If the page is not in the first room, head to the room to the right and check for a page in there. If the page is there, leave the building for the middle left exit and head through the middle of the 2 tankers. If it's not there, reset the run. If you're checking the tankers from the left, the fastest 2 are the bottom left tankers. If the page is not in the first row, you can either head down to the first row and enter the second row through the middle, or enter the second row from the left, which is risky but potentially faster. If you're approaching the tankers starting from the middle, time save from tanker RNG is the same as in the beginner route, but mirrored vertically. Next, make a left and go towards the logs. The bottom right log will be the fastest, followed by the middle left, which is about 1.5 seconds slower, and top right, which is about 3 seconds slower. Finally, head right towards the walls. The bottom right wall will be the fastest, followed by the bottom left, which is around 1 second slower, the top right, which is about 3.5 seconds slower, and finally, the top left wall, which is around 6 seconds slower. Make sure to check the walls starting from the bottom right and moving counterclockwise, unless you see the page on the bottom left while you're approaching the walls. Thank you all for watching. I hope this video was able to help you out in some way, and I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.